everyone, Kristina Werner here. Welcome to another video for STAMPtember.com. Today I'm going to be using the Hero Arts collaboration set for STAMPtember 2019. It is called Real Flowers Vintage. This stamp set is available now, and when it's sold out, it's sold out. It's not coming back. So if you love this stamp set and the things you see me do with it today, you'll probably want to pick up the stamp set sooner rather than later. So earlier today, I sketched out 10 different card ideas using this stamp set. If you want to see that video, I'll have it linked up here in the top corner. Today, in this video, I'm going to be creating 2 of those cards that I thought up during my brainstorming session. The first one is going to be really simple with some ink blending. The second one also has ink blending, but this one is a little bit more straightforward. The first thing I'm doing is I'm cutting down some cardstock to create a 5x7 card. So I'm cutting it to 10 inches by 7 inches. This is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. And I'm going to score it at 5 inches, but I'm not going to fold it yet. I'm going to keep it flat while I work on the card. Next, I'm taking some Post-it tape, and I'm going to mask off all around the outer edge of my card. This is going to give me a 1-inch border, so that's why I needed to score it first so that I would know exactly where to place this tape. I now have a slick surface down so that I can blend on top. I don't really plan to blend all the way off the edge because I just need to get the center area, but just to be safe. I'm using 3 colors of Distress Oxide ink. I have Carved Pumpkin, Peacock Feathers, and Chipped Sapphire. And at the last minute, I decided I'm going to add in some black soot because looking at the stamp set, I'm going to be stamping these images starting from the bottom. And I think these images aren't going to be quite tall enough to really give me the shape of the stamping that I want. So I think I might need some chipped sapphire or some black soot at the bottom to create some darkness, and I can just have the images kind of fade into the black. And just because I can picture myself getting a little bit aggressive with the blending, I'm going to go ahead and put another strip of Post-it tape past the fold area just so it extends over here so I can blend off, have lots of space. Starting with Carved Pumpkin here at the top, and I'm just going to blend these down in the order that I have them, going from Carved Pumpkin, Peacock Feathers, Chipped Sapphire to Black Soot. After I have the initial blend, I'm going to go back over with the same exact colors to get a really seamless soft blending. So now I have all my blending done. I'm going to go ahead and start the stamping. I'm using a Misty Stamp Positioning Tool. I'm going to start by stamping the greeting up here in the top corner, and then I can stamp all of the wildflowers around it. I'm going to be stamping in black soot so that as I stamp the images down toward the bottom, that it blends into the black soot at the bottom. And I'm just realizing that friend is kind of crooked, so I might end up adding the greeting on top in cardstock. We'll see. Stamping the first large grouping of wildflowers. See how it kind of fades down into it? I might have to do a little blending at the end here just to make sure it really looks faded. I'm going to stamp this twice so I have a really good impression. And I'm actually going to stamp this again farther down right here. Going to add some more of these images here. The thing that's nice about these stamp images is that you can overlap them and it looks really cool. Okay, time for some additional ink blending just down here at the bottom to get these images to sort of blend in. So I'm adding quite a bit of this black and then just letting it kind of fade up into the blue. Just like that. All right, it's time to remove the masking tape, which is always one of my favorite parts. So you can see that nice crisp edge. All right, this friend here is so crooked. It's bugging me a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it on some black cardstock and then I can pop it up off the card. Using an anti-static powder tool and some Versamark ink. I'm using Brutus Monroe Alabaster embossing powder. And I'll just hit this with my heat tool until it's smooth and melted. All right, I'll trim this off just so it's a nice strip. Before I put the greeting on, I'm going to add some scoring lines using my SCOR-BUDDY. Just kind of feeling for where that groove would be. All right, so now I have some score lines right around that center area. And to finish off the card, I'm just going to put some foam adhesive behind my greeting. All right, I'm going to fold my card now. All right, and there is card number 1. So my second card idea really focuses around this one little leaf right here. I'm going to draw my own stems and then stamp the leaves on to create a custom design. Before I get to the stamping, I'm going to do some additional ink blending like I did on the previous card. I'm starting out with Blueprint Sketch Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to have all of these colors more concentrated in the bottom left corner of the card. So I'm going to start out with the Blueprint Sketch, and I'm going to keep it mostly concentrated in this bottom corner. And I don't want to add too much of the color just yet because I've got 4 colors here that I'm going to blend. And I don't want it to all hit the other side of the card. I've got Wilted Violet now. I'm now using Picked Raspberry. And the last color is Squeezed Lemonade. This is the color that's going to fade off to white. So I want to get lots and lots of color connecting to the pink area, but eventually I'll fade it out. Okay, that's a pretty good blend. I'm going to do stamping over the top, so any of the not perfect blending will sort of be disguised. I'm going to be doing all my stamping in VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And I'm starting out with the Smile greeting from the stamp set. Wanted to start out stamping the greeting first so that as I draw my stems and stamp my leaves, it's not going to interfere with the actual greeting. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my stem. I'm going to do one stem at a time, and I'm going to have it come from the bottom and kind of arch up into this area. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom and just have it come up like that. Now I'm going to do a bunch of stamping of this one little leaf shape. I'm going to start up here at the very tippy top. And even if I don't get a solid image, totally okay. I can fill it in with my marker, just like that. Now I just have to remember to make sure I get a solid stamping each time I do this. Looks like I'll probably need to thicken up that stem line, but I'm glad I did it thin, so now I can just thicken it up because it would be really hard to make it thinner if it was already too thick. Now I'm going to have another stem that crisscrosses this one and comes down. I think I'll just have it come like this. So as I stamp additional leaves, I'm going to make sure that they don't overlap too much. All right, I'm going to fix any spots where the leaves aren't connecting and thicken up the stems. I'm actually switching to a thicker Copic multiliner. This is a 1.0. So this card, the front is the exact size of a card front, but just to change it up, I'm going to put it on some craft cardstock. This is a Neenah Desert Storm environmental cardstock, and you're not going to see the color from the front of the card, but you'll see the color on the inside when you open it. Scoring that at 5.5, using Tombow Extreme Adhesive to adhere this down, and then I can press my card design down onto the card front. So here's the card, that nice natural color inside, but colorful on the front. So here are my two cards for today. Kind of similar looks with kind of a sunset blending type of look, but vastly different card designs. Once again, if you want to check out that video where I sketched 10 different ideas for the stamp set, go to the link in the top corner. You can click over and watch that. And make sure you go to SimonsStamp.com to pick up this stamp set before it sells out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video very soon.